When it comes to the swing, different people teach it different ways. There's a lot of variance to it. No right or wrong per se, but I usually look at movement efficiency, especially when it comes to the kettlebell, because these things can get up to like 100 plus. Crazy people, like big, strong motherfuckers, can lift stuff that are 200 pounds. And like that's super impressive, but you're not gonna be able to do that unless biomechanically you're efficient. And that's what strength looks like. Now, how are we efficient? Some people will swing it and have the arms go way out in front and let the arm extend all the way, a full extension with the arm, in other words, okay? Some people go all the way up here and that's essentially useless. I'll never tell you to do that, especially because you probably lack some shoulder mobility to be overhead in the first place. Like if pushing something overhead in the first place is uncomfortable for your shoulder, why would you throw something overhead kind of out of control and then try to bring it back down? Like that just doesn't make sense in my brain. So don't do it unless you have adequate shoulder mobility. And then even then, I'll never tell you to swing a kettlebell overhead. Because what happens if you lose it overhead? Boom, done, right? Hope you have a one-way ticket to the hospital. Anyway, I digress. Excuse my passion. So here we go. 1, 2, boom, boom. Instead of going all the way out with our arms, I teach it to tuck your elbows into your rib cage. That way your lever arm or your moment arm is not so far away from the fulcrum here, okay? It's either this moves or this moves. And you can see that the moment arm is much longer when the arm is extended. So tuck that in and now it's just this, fulcrum, moment arm, boom, boom. And that's efficient because the hips are the things that are doing the motion. And when you lift it from hike to lift, it looks just like this. Boom, boom. And when you're up here, hands should actually be fairly light and fairly soft. So like soft wrists, soft fingers, soft elbows, and strong and sturdy and grounded and rooted and cemented from the ribs down, just like we talked about previously. So pinch, grab, hike, and the hips, boom, strong hips forward, 2, boom, boom, boom. Throw the hips, energy into the ground with the feet, boom, and reverse the hike on the way back down to softly let the kettlebell back down to the ground. And I'll do it again so that you have a better idea of what it looks like now that we kind of know what the big picture of the kettlebell swing is. Okay, I got my stance, got my width, good. Pinch my fingers, grab, brace that torso, and hike, throw, hike, down, hike, throw, hike, down, hike, throw, hike, down, hike, throw, hike, down. And you can see that it's the hips doing much more work than anything in the upper body. Upper body, kind of just along for the ride. Hands, kind of just making sure the bell doesn't fly through the wall in front of you, okay? And when you get to the top, you'll notice my fingers are actually pretty light, okay? The bell should be able to kind of float here in front of you. Boom, boom, boom. And that's just more proof that the hips are doing all the work and the hands are doing very, very little. Just holding on to it, making sure you're not causing a ruckus and breaking walls and windows and lamps and all kinds of stuff. So this is gonna take a long time to get good at, but this swing is the basis for many other things down the road that we're gonna build on. So really practice this as many times as you can this week, and of course, as many times as you can moving forward. This is a great exercise. It gets a lot of work done quick, and it's efficient. And the best part is that it builds good, strong glutes. Number one, who doesn't like a nice big butt? But also, a nice big butt means you have strong glutes most of the time, unless you've neglected it. And like genetics plays a part, but whatever. The point that I'm trying to make is different muscles in the body are made up of what's called different types of muscle fibers. Type 1, type 2, and within type 2, there's type 2A and B. But The main point of this message is the glutes are type 2 muscle fibers, and that means that they're more fast twitch, like a sprinter. Boom. You exert all of your energy and all of your power really fast in a very short amount of time, and it's very explosive. Boom, go, boom, done. That requires a lot of rest, but it's very explosive, very powerful. And that's the kind of muscles that the glutes are, your butt muscles. And that means they work better when they are used in such a manner. Different from like the quadricep muscles, which are type 1 fibers, which means they're more made for more low intensity, prolonged exertion, like walking or like cross-country running, okay? Like what we do all the time, every day, walking around. No wonder we're quad dominant and we have weak glutes that causes weak core and an achy back. So one way to develop those glutes, type 2 muscle fibers,